Greetings, Fantastic Fives. Good to have you with us again for another lesson of Maths with WorksheetCloud and Mr. T. Let's jump right into our maths for today. Just a reminder, if you want to email me, it's grade5@worksheetcloud.com, and after the lesson, click on that link to the worksheet just to make sure that you've understood what we've covered in today's lesson. As normal, the next slide is going to be your mental arithmetic for the day. That's how we practice those things that should come to us without even really needing to think. So they come, quick, and we don't waste any time trying to solve them by actually working them out. They're just there in our heads. So I focused on a particular times table today. You'll see which one it is. It's obviously not done in order. It's just all things from that times table. So you have 40 seconds. You just need to put down the answer. Your 40 seconds start now. That's time up. So we're going to mark them quickly, go through them just quickly. You can see it's the 7 times table. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 8 is 56, 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 9 is 63, 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 10 is 70. If you missed any of those, just rerun the video and watch it again, and you can mark them. If you did struggle with these, it's perhaps useful that you spend some time learning your 7 times table. It's definitely worthwhile knowing your times tables. It does speed up your maths and it improves your overall efficiency in maths a lot. Okay, I've got one of these again for today. The only thing that might be different about this one is to note that this asterisk it means the same as a times sign. So look through those, see if you can solve it. Also, just bear in mind that for the last line, we've got to remember BEDMAS, our order of operations. So we've got a times, a plus, and a minus, and we've got to use the correct order of things, otherwise we're going to get the incorrect number. So I'm going to switch across to the worksheet and just give you a little bit of time to work this out just before I start. So with questions like these, you always want to start in the line where all the things are the same. Later on, when you're doing sort of more high school level ones, maybe grade 7, there'll be some ones that you can use where you might have to put them together. But for now, these are the ones. So you're always going to get one line where all of them are the same, and that's the one where you can start and work something out. So you can pause now if you want to give yourself a bit more time to work it out, or you can pause anywhere along the way if I've solved a step and you want to carry on from there. I'm going to start with the top row. I've got 4 things that add to 28, and so what I'm going to do is divide 28 by 4 to share it out equally, and I find that each of my apples is worth 7. And I'm going to go ahead and put 7 on all of the apples in all of the other rows, because I've now discovered that an apple is worth 7. That allows me to work out the next line, because I've got 7 times something is equal to 21. Another way of writing that is 7 times something is equal to 21. And you can figure out that that should be a 3. Now that I've got that, I can put 3 where all my pairs are. And there we go, that's done. So now for the next line, I've got 3 times something minus 7 gives me 17. Let's just remember that, that is a times sign. So 3 times something minus 7. So I'm going to actually do this a little bit in reverse. I'm going to say, well, 70. I want to find out what it would have been before I minus the 7. So before I minus the 7, it would be 7 more than this, which is 24. So before I took away the 7 here, I was looking for 24. So this part here is equal to 24. So 3 times something gives me 24. And if your 8 times table is any good, you would have realized that it's 3 times 8 is 24. Now let's check the line, check this one. So 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 7 is 17. So we have now solved what the mushroom is. And now we can put the mushroom in over there and there. Now we just need to solve the final line. So a reminder that your order of operations is bed mass. So we have a look to see, well, we've got no brackets, we've got no exponents, we haven't done those. We've got no division, we have some hardy-dars in the background. We have multiplication over here, so that's what we're going to do first. So 7 times 8 is 56, so that together is equal to 56. And now that we've just got plus and minus left, we're going to go from left to right. So I'm going to go 56 plus 3 is 59. And 59 minus 8 is 51. And so my final answer is 51. Right. If you're ever looking for these on the internet, if you like these and you just want to search for them, just search for maths picture riddles or maths picture puzzles. They come up and they're quite fun to sit and do when you're bored. Or when you're not bored, when you're procrastinating. Procrastinating is putting off the things that you have to do because you find things that you want to do rather. Okay, so on to today's lesson, which is the second part of data handling, and I've put a whole lesson just for the one topic, the hardest of the topics. So in the previous lesson, we learned about the mean, the median. Sorry, we didn't do the mean, we learned what it was. We have the median, the mode, the range, the maximum, and the minimum. And today we're going to look at the mean. All right, so the only thing is that we're going to cover today is how to calculate the mean, which is another word for average, for given information. All right, so just a reminder of our poem, and I've made bold the one that we're going to do today. Let's just go through it a couple of times so that it's stuck in your head for another day. Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle, we add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that we see the most, and the range is the difference between. Hey! Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle, we add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that we see the most, and the range is the difference between. And that is all the singing I'm going to do today. You can keep singing it in your head. Let's jump across the whiteboard where I've put some examples and where we can calculate the mean. All right, so I thought I'd start off with some information about temperatures for the week. All right, so I've just given the temperatures from Monday to Sunday, and yeah, I've put them in. Maybe before we do that, just in pink on the right-hand side, let's just remind ourselves how we calculate the mean so that we add and divide for the mean. So what we're going to do is add up all of these things to get our total. And then we're going to divide that by how many things we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this case, we're going to divide by 7. So how many it's out of. All right, so in this case, there's 7. So if you were looking to get your average for some tests, you would add up your marks for however many tests there were, and then you divide by how many tests there were. Bearing in mind that when it gets to calculating marks, your teachers are probably doing things like saying, well, this test is worth more than that test, and it's something called weighting, which you won't learn about just yet. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's add these up, and let's work out the mean. Pardon me. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for us to practice our mental arithmetic. So I'm just going to write them neatly underneath each other. With addition, when it gets more complicated later on, when you've got more numbers than this, your teachers will probably allow you to use a calculator and do some calculator work. But these, I've kept the numbers quite simple, and we can add them up. So we're going to add up the right-hand column first. So 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 8 is 21, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 36, So the 6 goes there, and we carry the 3 to the next column. 3 plus 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got a total of 126, and we are dividing by 7. So I'm going to put 126 at the top, and we're dividing by 7, because remember we had 7 different days in this week. This is the temperature. Okay, so now we've got to do another mental arithmetic thing. Not so much mental arithmetic. This we're going to work out. So it's a short division problem. So 126 goes underneath my bus shelter. I'll ask myself, how many times does 7 go into 1? It doesn't. How many times does 7 go into 12? It goes once with some left over. So we've used 7 of those 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 5 left. Right, how many 7s in 56? This was actually one of our mental arithmetics for today. So 7 goes into there 8 times. And so what we can say then is that the mean temperature for the week is 18 degrees Celsius. I haven't put Celsius, but that is, so it's 18 degrees. So that's the mean. You can substitute the word average for that. So the average temperature for the week is 18 degrees. So you can see we've got one warm day with 24, and we've got a couple of cooler days down to 14, but the average or the mean temperature is 18 degrees. Oh, we've got another example. And in this example, we're looking at the heights of some friends. I assume they're roughly your age because of the heights, but I'm working it out. Okay, so let's now do the addition part of it. So 146, I'm just lining them up nice and neatly. If you'd like to try these at home, which I think would be a great idea, you probably want to just pause the video so that you can work out the total. And then you can check that your total's right, and then you can pause it again and do the division. The reason why I want you to pause in between is because I've specifically chosen numbers that will be nicely divisible. So if you look at the previous example, I made sure that my answer was going to be a whole number and not 17.5 or 16.5 or anything like that. So let's just make sure that when you've done your adding, that your adding is correct. Otherwise, it might be difficult to divide because we haven't done any division with decimals yet. Okay, so for when I add lots like this, I do a little trick. So I can see that 4 and 6 go to 10 and that 5 and 5 go to 10. So I wouldn't normally go 6 plus 5 is 11 plus 5 is 16 plus 4 is 20. I can do it that way, but I find it easier if I pair them up into nice numbers. So I can see that 6 plus 4 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10, so my total for that 9 is 20, so I carry the 2. So then over here, again, I've got a 4 and a 6, which is going to be 10. And then I'm going to just add the other pieces in. So the 11, 12 plus 5 is 17, plus 3 is 20, plus 4 is 24, carry a 2. 5 ones plus 2 is 7, so I've got 740. So 740, and I need to divide that by how many? Well, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, so I'm going to divide that by 5. So if you've got 740 and you've got dividing by 5, then just pause the video, do your short division part, and once you've done that, you can play it again and just check that you have got the right answer. I'm just going to move it down a little bit, so there's some space. Right, so I've got 740 under my bus stop, 5. When I was working this out, this goes back to one of the other lessons we've done about divisibility rules. I know that 5 goes in exactly because anything that ends on a 5 or a 0, 5 fits in. Okay, so 5 goes into 7 once with some leftovers. It has 2 leftovers. 5 goes into 24 4 times. And it's got 4 left over, and 5 goes into 48 times with nothing left over. So the answer to this is that the average height, let's write the proper word that we're using, the mean height is 148 centimeters because we used centimeters over there. So the mean height of these friends is 148 centimeters. Okay, next we're going to have a look at some children, a number of children in a class. We have 6 different classes that we're looking at. So let's see if we can work this out. So again, if you'd like to work this out yourself, just pause the video. I'm going to work it out. I do think that although it's really good to watch somebody else doing it, sometimes when we watch someone else doing it, we're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then we actually have to do it ourselves. It's not so easy. So it's really good to practice. I know you will when you do the worksheet, but if you want to practice now and then watch to see that you've gone through the correct process, good idea to pause the video and do it now. Okay, this one's quite neat in its column, so I'm just going to add it up over here. 4 plus 2 plus 2, so I think 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 6 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18, that looks more like a 6, 18, so I carry a 1. So let me look at the next column, 3, so I already said 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 10, plus 3 and 3 is 16. So I've got 168 children, and that's across all 6 classes. So 168. I have 6 classes, so I'm going to share that equally amongst the 6 classes with a division problem. So if you've got 168, then you're good to go with your division. 168. So I ask myself first, does 6 go into 1? It doesn't. Carry my 1. Does 6 go into 16? It does, but not exactly. So 6, 12. 18 is too many, so I'm going to go with 2. But I haven't used all of my 16. I've only used 12 of them. So 13, 14, 15, 16. I've got 4 left over. Does 6 go into 48? It does. It goes in 8 times. So again, you can see why times tables are so important and why the basics of maths are so important. So if you might know what mean was and how to get it, but if you're not able to get that right, which is just adding up, or if you're not able to get that right, or even if you can't see how many 6s go into 48, you're going to get the wrong answer in the end, and it's going to be a little bit demotivating when you see a cross next to your work in your book, or a dot. I don't know how your teacher marks it. All right, so 28. What does that mean? That means that the mean number, so we can say the mean class size is 28. 28 what? 28 children. And if you can work that out, then you might have questions like how many classes are greater than the mean? So then you'd say, well, that's greater, so bigger, that's greater, and that's greater. So 3 are greater than the mean, 3 are less than the mean. So it's sort of some of the things you might do once you've got the mean. Okay, I've got another example to do. This one is about rainfall. I've said during a cold front, and there's a day when there's none, so it's really 2 cold fronts, but let's work it out. So we have 8 different things, or 8 different entries in our data. So this day where they're 0 millimeters means there was no rain. You might get a piece of data that has a 0 value. When you add it in, it's not going to make any difference, but you should still have it there. So 18, 36, 70, 42, 0, 26, 9, and 39. Okay, so if you'd like to add those up, do so. So 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 2 is 16, plus 6 is 22, plus 9 is 31, plus 9 is 40. So carry a 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So in total, I have 240 millimeters of rain. It is a weird thing, but rain is measured in millimeters. It does translate into milliliters because it is a liquid, but we measure it in millimeters of rain, which is correct, even though it might seem wrong. So it's millimeters of rain. Okay, so now we need to do a division problem. What are we dividing by? Well, we've got 240, and we're dividing that by, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in our in our data, so we're going to divide that by 8. So we're going to do, again, a short division problem. It's a little bit of a squiff line, but let's work with it. So does 8 go into 2? It does not. Does 8 go into 24? 8, 16, 24. It goes in exactly. Does 8 go into 0? It goes in 0 times. So in fact, our answer then is that the mean rainfall is 30 millimeters a day. Right, and that's again solving the mean. Okay, I have just 2 more to do, which should take us to time. It's always good to watch this sort of a few times if you are. I would really like by this stage for you to be doing them, pausing the video and doing them, and then checking to see if you're right. So let's have a look. Well, first up, what do you think we're going to divide by when we've added all these together? If you said 5, you'd be correct, because we have 5 members of this family. Based on the ages, I'm guessing that these are the mom and dad, and these are the kids. That's not part of the maths, but there you go. Okay, so let's start off by adding them up. So remember, for the mean, we add and divide for the mean. So we've got a 5, 49, 41. Again, over here, well, okay, let's just add them up. So 8, 12, 17, and that's 10, so that's 27. 12, 17, 27, yeah. Here we had 2, 3 plus 8, excuse me. 3 plus 8 is 11. I'm going to quickly cheat, because this isn't going to give us a nice number. I'm going to make this person's age, nope, 44. All right, otherwise I didn't check that number, obviously, when I was adding it up. So we add those again, 12, 16, oh, sorry, 8 plus 4 is 12, 17, 26, 30, carry 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so 120. All right, so that's just me making sure the numbers divide nicely. So we've got a total of 120. Now let's divide that by 5. So we've got 1 divided by 5, 120. 5 doesn't go into 1. 5 goes into 12 twice with 2 left over. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So the mean age is 24 years old in this family. So we can see that although we've got 3 children who are quite young, the average age is quite high because the parents' age is quite a lot higher, and that makes the numbers quite high. Okay, and just a nice simple one at the end. We've got 4 members of a family who drink water every day. Some drink more than others. This person drinks 2 liters of water a day. So what we can do is add that up and divide by 4, because there's 4 members of this family. Right, I'm going to just do it over here in this line. So all zeros adds to 0. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 5 is 60. Sorry, 16. 5 plus 7 is 12, 13, 14, carry 1, 4. So in total, they drink 4,460 milliliters, or almost 4.5 liters. And we're going to divide that by 4. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 6 once with 2 left over. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So I'm going to use the word average just because they're interchangeable. The average or mean amount of water is 1,115 milliliters of water. All right, a day. Okay, and that's the mean. So we add and we divide for the mean. And that's basically what I'd like you to take away from this lesson. So once you have sung this song to yourself for the rest of the day and done the worksheet, then you should hopefully not have a problem working out what the mean is or what the average is. Some of your word problems might still use the word average, although the mean is the correct one to use for data handling. If you have any questions, you can email me. It's grade5@worksheetcloud.com, and make sure you do that practice in the worksheet by clicking on the link above. Grade 5s, have an awesome day. I'll see you again soon.